welcome to another episode of Foreign and Domestic. Apologize you guys for our absence last week. There were some issues going on, so I guess Alan had some bad storms and loss of power, so we apologize for that. But we are back, and it's good to be here. With that being said, before we go to Alan in tradition fashion, I would like to welcome our newest viewer, YouTube. We have a YouTube viewer trying to censor us. Hi, go fuck yourself. All right, with that being said, Alan, would you like to start the show?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. In traditional form, and again, just like to do this.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And with that done, again, YouTube, go ahead, try to get a copyright strike on it. Go fuck yourself. Also, I mean, it's been one heck of a week, folks, one heck of a week. But in traditional fashion, I'm just going to go ahead and read off who the participants list says. You know, this is based on what YouTube says is out there. Ambiguity, Andy, 79Z28. AOK Foraging, how you doing? Blue Healer 260, Chris 338, Garage Guy 879, Jesse B Outdoors, JH 586, Kingpin, Lone Wolf 76, Ocean 374, Thor's Axe, Primal Wanderer. People jumping in. If I didn't read you off, it's because YouTube decided to not put you in the participations list. So yeah, go fuck yourself, YouTube.
And we're off to an excellent start.
Seems like
we have our record deer killer with us, or tactical deer killer. So, tactical cold deer killer, how you doing?
Go ahead, Jamie. Talk. That's you.
I thought that was you, man.
Oh, tactical deer hunter. Well, I don't know how I killed that deer, because it seems that I'm not allowed to even use anything to kill a deer anymore. But other than that, I'm old, I'm cranky, and YouTube, get off my lawn.
Yeah, as I understood it, you picked up a piece of lead and threw it really, really fast, right?
Well, I had to go and use those things that are illegal in California, plastic straws. And I used one of those, and I put the lead inside of it, and I went boom, like that, and I got him.
Well, isn't that 185 yards, right?
185 yards.
That's a heck of a shot with a straw.
Yep, a little bit of arc.
Yeah, well, congratulations, man.
Yep, I shot that baby a lot this summer and checked it again here before around September, and then a couple more times before the season is, just so I knew it was dialed in and I knew where that bullet would hit. A lot of people need to do that before they go out into the woods hunting. Know where your gear, what your gear can do, and know your own abilities.
So you're saying that you just got super lucky?
Yeah, because I had, there was this big tree and it V'd like this, and the deer was right in the V. So I wasn't that lucky because I had a natural sight, and then I used my mechanical straw sights to be able to get in there. Right in the boiler room. Went about 40, 50 yards, dropped down of a heart attack.
That was a fully semi-automatic straw, right?
Oh, yes, fully semi-automatic. And I can show, well, no, I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no straws allowed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
It's despicable. It is very despicable. And if you guys didn't read the chat, please do so. I think you'll find it very interesting.
Yeah, I'm inquisitory about how, what is it? They don't want to piss off the gaming community. It's perfectly fine showing weapons and shooting human silhouette targets, and if I had like an animatronic animated weapon, I could show that. But they don't want to piss off the gaming community. They want to keep the game streamers going.
They're just doing what they do best, helping to aid the whole.
Well, very nice description, sir.
Thank you. I think I wanted to put something in that was good. I had to do a little bit of research on that one before I popped it in there.
Well, I go in to read what you put in the description. How you doing, Jamie?
Man, I really hadn't been feeling good the last couple of days. Don't really know why. I went out hunting yesterday, Saturday, and didn't even see a deer. Of course, it's 40, 45 degrees and overcast and windy. And when it's warmer and windy, the deer just don't typically move. They'll just bed down all day and just stay where they're at. I told my granddaughter, I said, they're probably at home wrapping Christmas presents. So there you go.
Yeah, those warm and windy days. Yeah, they stay in the bedroom.
Yeah, they play that romantic music and just stick around.
It was just kind of a working week for me, but it was a cold week. Last weekend we did have some storms coming through. It really didn't seem like that much snow, but for some reason here in the town that I live in, they were having all kinds of power outages, and it just wasn't faring very well. This weekend was a completely different story. I was able to go out to the range and spit some lead through my straws, and just immense amount of enjoyment to be had there. But it's been upwards of the mid 40s to 50s. So I'm sorry to hear that you've been a little under the weather there, Jamie. Hopefully all that passes.
Well, I appreciate it, man. It'll be better. I just last couple of days I've took some really long naps, and that helps better than anything. That's like getting money without working for it when you're able to take a nap in the afternoon. And another thing that's probably hurting is when you get the grandkids over to spend the night and they got us climb up in your bed with you and proceed to kick the crap out of you all night long. Yeah, you'll feel pretty bad the next day. So what we've come up with a new strategy, and this is as soon as they go to sleep and they're good and sound asleep, we pick them up and move them to the sofa, to the love seat in the bedroom. So everything's good.
It's a very calculated risk. I mean, you have to time it just right, and hopefully you don't stub your toe on the coffee table in the process, because then you end up throwing the kid onto the couch. It doesn't really help all that much. Yeah, that's a very, very true statement. I mean, you can see all kinds of violent videos on YouTube all over the place, all over the place. But don't dare handle a firearm. You, that's the absurdity of it all. And, you know, if people can't read between the lines there, they really need a better education.
I believe you got a very interesting text before you showed up. Did you not?
Who, me?
You.
Oh,
Didn't
not
you
to
get
my
a very
knowledge.
interesting text?
I actually did receive a text. If you're on my Facebook or my Instagram, I actually posted a screenshot of it. And essentially what it was, hey, this is Elizabeth Warren, and I'm going to be holding a town hall meeting in Des Moines, and wondering if you could make it. And I responded to her. I said, yeah, I can make it. Let me just create all my signs that say, don't elect this liar, and get as many friends together as I can to protest you even being in the race. Still want me to come? And I still have yet to hear back from her. I don't know why. I mean, she invited me. I told her I could come. But, you know, for some oddball reason, now I don't think she wants me there.
I love it.
Here we go.
I got one.
So can somebody tell me if this is true or not? I don't really know. So I'm curious if they truly continue on with the impeachment process and it flops, doesn't that like allow Trump to run a third term?
I don't believe so.
Somebody had told me that it basically creates the first term as null and void, for lack of better terminology. He said it a lot better. I kind of spit and stutter and, you know, drool on myself occasionally. But I thought I heard something about if they did, then, but no, somebody was like trying to blow smoke up my ass, and I almost bought it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I know there was one, I think it was after the longest running president. I think he did a couple, at least one or more than your 2 terms.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt was elected to 4 terms. He died shortly after being shortly after being inaugurated to the 4th term in April. He's not going to be removed from office, people. Matter of fact, I doubt very seriously that the House will move the hearings to the Senate, because they know that once they get there, the Senate will acquit him of all charges and throw the charges out of court. So, yeah. Kingpin's right. After FDR was elected for the 4th term, they passed a law in Congress, probably an amendment, if I'm correct. Isn't that right, Daniel? 2 terms.
Well, I know there was something around after. I don't know exactly what law it was, but I'm thinking maybe that the Scotsman should know something like that, you know, just in case he may need to know that here in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get that figured out.
Before FDR, it was kind of like nobody would dare run for a 3rd term. But we needed FDR in those days because of the the Depression and World War II. They weren't going to change presidents in the middle of the war.
So, you guys scrolling across the bottom there for Mr. Holster. I would like to say a huge thank you, guys. We are almost at $3,000, almost halfway. We're literally a little over $100 away from meeting from hitting 3,000. So, absolutely awesome.
We have something scheduled for next week.
We will. I got to figure out all the details still. I get everything put together, but you have until tomorrow at noon to get your entries in. So if you're not emailed me, I could want your entries. You got to email me and let me know.
Yeah, AOK Forging mentions Nancy Pelosi. I think the only thing that woman can hold is large amounts of liquor or something. She just seems like a drunkard entirely, like beyond recollection. She just horrible woman.
Yep, absolutely. Mr. Holster did send me another package. Unfortunately, I can't show it. But we did get a banana clip for the Vapor and a handguard for the Vapor. So some additional pieces to go with it. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to this one. I should be good.
This is going to be fun. That is a very nice incentive gift, I must say.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
I'm a blue steel on wood.
We've already got stuff for the next thing after it, so already got some stuff coming in. So you had Cranky won the Dylan. Cranky passed it on to Mike Train. I got a hold of Mike Train. And Mike Train goes, nope, put it in for Mr. Holster. So the Dylan Squirty will be in 357 Magnum is back in the pot.
Idaho, if I really seriously thought that, and I know you're just kidding, but yeah, I don't believe I'd said that. Particularly out in public like this. Believe me, I know that brother better than that, man.
I don't think there's enough alcohol on the planet.
No, just me and her, 5 minutes alone, huh?
Yeah. And like the line from Mr. Grinch, I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. So what if her and the Scotsman were the only two human beings left on the planet Earth?
She wouldn't be living long.
Then more than likely we will become extinguished.
You
The human race will end.
We'll be extinct.
You really don't like Nancy Pelosi, do you? Wishing the Scotsman on her.
There's Tread. Hey, brother. I think, in all honesty, we don't really know these people. We really don't. All we know is the facade that they put up, and I think that's one of the things about interacting on YouTube and on the Reloaders Network and stuff like that is we do get to know each other significantly better than what the media would like for us to think about them.
What what does Ikeo got against goats? I like goats.
You know what the Billy Goat said? He said, "Nah."
Nah.
Well, I know you
It's
had some
okay.
fun this week, Alan, and it looked like you had a little bit of an accident.
I did. On the last 400 domestic, I showed you something that I purchased, and if you weren't around, I continued to display my nerddom, and displayed a kind of an expensive RC car. And that RC car, I've made some modifications to it. And this is its current state. Right now I'm in the process of gutting the entire thing. I busted the chassis on it along with the entire front end of this thing. So I got the truck dialed in, and I got it all aligned, and I took it out with the boys, and it was at night. Mistake number one. And I've got a city administration building a block away from me, and they've got a big lawn out in front of this thing. And on this lawn, it goes up, it's got a dip down, it's got a big hill up, and then it dips down again. And so I felt comfortable with it, that it was all aligned up, and I shot across this lawn, and I turned it around, and I started bringing it back. Step two. Mistake number two. Always know what's between you and the vehicle that you're driving. What I didn't realize is I had gone off of the grass and into the parking lot, and I turned it around and started coming back about 7/8 throttle. The car was doing about 45, 50 miles an hour, and I hit a curb this high, just straight on. Grenaded the whole front end of the truck, just blew it up. And so now at this point, I'm literally tearing it apart and rebuilding the entire truck, which is just part of the hobby. Actually, wrenching on these things is part of the hobby, but and some hard lessons learned. You always want to see where you're going with your vehicle.
So it cost you a Glock to buy it. How many Glocks is it going to take to fix it?
It was it was about the value of a, dare I say, good Glock. Yes, Jesse, that it is. It is an e-Revo, and less than 24 hours after I showed it online, I totaled it. And so it cost me about a Glock to get it. In repairs, I'm going to have about a good set of sights and a new barrel. So there's a little bit of investment, maybe even a flat face trigger. But luckily it's a popular vehicle, and it's easy to get parts for. Nearly everything that I need was very accessible at my hobby shop. The other things I can get online, so I'm not really having any trouble getting parts for it. But yeah, I totaled the truck, and now I'm having to rebuild.
Happen to video this?
I was too busy wrecking the truck to be videoing it.
So
at this point, it didn't happen. It
Once
didn't
you
happen
prepare
because it
the
didn't happen on
video.
video. But with all the rules and regulations that YouTube's making us, I might end up having to turn my channel into an RC channel. Because now we can't even hold things on camera without them flipping out. So I've been trying to think of exactly how I would film RC footage. I've watched a number of people that have channels that are dedicated to RC, and so there's a few things that I'm gonna need. I'm gonna need a couple more I'm gonna need some GoPros for sure. But yeah, that all that kind of footage that I'll end up doing it. I'll just dump it on another one of my channels. I'm not going to turn Alan B Pro channel into RCs. It's if YouTube wants to completely take down firearms and everything else, they're going to have to look for a little tiny channel called Alan B Pro and shut that fucking thing down too. But my little tiny channel is insignificant compared to where you're coming up to there, Scotsman. I'm very happy to see this.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's almost to 2,000, guys. Absolutely incredible. When I started this, I never imagined that. But literally, I think it's about 70 or so away. So not too far.
I gotta make a video, man. I've been meaning to make a video for 6 months about that. There's loads of bacon, and earlier Jesse was saying that he has RC trucks on his other channel. I think it's Jesse B Motors. Is that right?
That is correct.
And maybe he's got something that you can use. And loads of bacon is out there, and we do have another home when YouTube finally shuts us down. We can all go to the Reloaders Network, and you might as well start moving because it ain't gonna be long, guys. Hopefully I'm well entrenched over there. I generally my firearm type videos I generally put up 4 to 5 days sooner over there than I release them on YouTube. So I'm trying to encourage my viewers and followers that want to keep in touch with me to check out the Reloaders Network. And Headspace is a new thing we got going over there. It's kind of like Facebook, so that's pretty cool. And you can direct message all of us over there on Slack. So
Now, AOK Foraging had a comment a little bit ago. She was kind of wondering if she was late and just missed the gun check.
Well, unfortunately, you did miss the gun because we have a lovely YouTube person watching. Hi, motherfucker. Go fuck yourself. Monitoring to make sure we do not show firearms, pictures of firearms, magazines, gun parts, any of that stuff. So instead of a gun check, we're gonna have a knife check because you didn't say I couldn't show a knife. So I brought some nice little ones along. This guy here. This one came from Ebomi. Last time I went and saw him, he was nice enough to give this to me. This thing is pretty sick. So
that is beautiful.
A knife right there. We got this guy from Pop's Quest.
Oh, check him out. He gets up nearly to 2,000 subscribers and he starts name dropping.
Well, they're gonna name drop this one, but this is a very nice knife, and a subscriber sent this to me and said I could do what I wanted with it, and honestly, I like it, not going anywhere. This
Nice.
thing is pretty, very, very sharp. So,
I
and
like
it has a
those.
very nice sheath with it too. So, I think it's pretty nice. Alan, what you got?
I got a pointy thing on a stick. It's sharp. I mean, actually, I've got me a knife here. This normally rides on the plate carrier, but this is a Gerber right here. If I can hold it right, the Gerber. What is this thing? Strong arm or something? Some crap. Portland, Oregon made. U.S. made Gerber. So, yeah, it doesn't see much in the way of action right yet, just because it lives on the plate carrier.
That
That's all for it.
reminds me of a K-bar.
Yeah, they're pretty dang close.
If it's an American-made one, it's got some age on it.
Yeah, it comes with a nice Kydex, and it's all mollied. It's usually just mollied to the carrier, so. I guess I'm going to have to start getting, strong arm. That's right, Blue Healer. It's a strong arm. I'm going to have to start getting into some more.
That was on cue. I bet you can't do that again.
Alan, your date's here.
Oh. That was a good one, Daniel.
I couldn't even hear what Alan was saying. The dogs just erupted. What? Okay, could you repeat that again, Alan?
No, I can't.
Okay, what are we talking about?
Jamie, what you got?
I have this is a fairly new one to me. I won it at our church's men's ministry skeet shoot. Kydex. It's got a clip on one side. It goes over your belt. This is the Rat 3 from Ontario Knife Company. It's probably the nicest knife I've ever had. It's a powder coated blade, got a little bit of serration there, and I'm really anxious to kill another deer. And I don't really know what that handle is made out of, but it seems very fibrous and it's got a really good grip to it. But I'm concerned about what I use a knife for because I'm worried that the blood won't come out. And as you're killing and cleaning deer, you really want to be able to clean your stuff up. And I also have this one. This is a SOG. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with SOG, but it's a pretty knife. Very juvenile, but it got what I call a sharp finger style blade on it. I'm sure that has a more accurate name to the shape of that blade, so y'all help me out. And Topo Meridian is what it says. And I know I'm not pronouncing that right, but this is a very sharp knife. I really like carrying this. It's got the pocket clip right there, so you can get to it real easy. But that's just a couple of them. I got plenty more.
And we have our tactical deer killer.
Okay, I might have to hit the mute thing because the wife and kid, they are home, so the dogs might go off again. I'm going to start out with a Duluth Training. Shut up, dogs. The Duluth Trading Company tactical multiple knife. You can stab them, you can measure them, and you can pull teeth with it. Okay, hold on. Okay, and for taking care of gutting the deer and all that there stuff, I've got my old case. This knife I've had since I was 12 years old, double bladed. Still got the blood and the guts on it because that's what it's for. I got my everyday carry blade. And I don't know if you want to see this flyby. That's a knife. Oh, this one has actually been used.
Yeah, that's one of those fully semi-automatic assault knives, isn't it?
All of them are totally fully semi-auto. 100%. Banning, going through 120 years all the way up to modern day.
Yeah, you said that you had that one knife since you were like 18 or something, right? I mean, that's just like your carry gut knife.
No, this I've had since, I don't know, about 10 or 12 years old.
10 or 12 years old?
Yep. Not
And
broke.
they actually knew what steel was back then.
Oh, yes. Made in the USA. So I won't be shooting that with a no fully semi-automatic plastic straw blowguns. Oh! I said a bad word.
Shame. We might have to put you in timeout, put you in the corner.
Go ahead, put me in the corner. My loved ones are leaning in the corner.
Yeah, deciphering the letter of the law on what you can and can't show during a live stream. I'm almost thinking I wouldn't take this down. That's a resident. It's not leaving. But I also have some more space over here where something could possibly just be hanging, and that wouldn't be a violation of YouTube. If I took like something and put it up there, that wouldn't be a violation as long as I don't touch them. If I go and I touch it, that's the fine line, is because then I'm technically handling it. But if it's just in the background, if it's just in the shot, then I mean, how could that possibly be a violation of their law? The way that, or, I say their law because this is their land we're playing on. It's not a violation of their guidelines at all if it's just in the shot. Now, no firearms, no magazines. What about holsters? They didn't specify anything about holsters.
You can show holsters.
So you can show holsters. You can't show like parts that convert a semi-automatic to an automatic, right?
No.
You can't show those parts. Okay. Well, people that have those parts anyway, you're committing a felony by owning them. So whatever. Like none of us are going to have that shit. Yeah.
Big Al, you'd probably get a lot of views, and they'd probably monetize you pretty quick, and you'd probably make them a lot of money.
Yeah, they would start promoting your channel, especially if you stood in front of it and said in a very feministic voice, "Oh, I'm offended." You would more than likely just like you'd be on the top of the chart right away. Right away. I mean, not all of us have the balls to do it, but I know, you very well might.
Simpson Road, Larry. I challenge you to find a Confederate flag, brother, without something else printed over the top of it. I was looking for one, and I had trouble finding one. I still don't have one. And with that, let me go on my tangent for a minute. That Confederate flag does not mean what it has been turned into. That is a symbol of heritage and not the hate and racial hatred that it has been turned into. It is just not. And I'd like to get my hands on some of these skinheads and whatever you want to call them that have, excuse me, but for lack of a better term, bastardized a flag that meant a lot of good and noble things to a lot of really good people. All right, Michael, I'll see if I can find one. But yeah, they basically what that flag symbolizes is standing up for what you believe is right in the face of tyranny from an overzealous government. What are we going through now?
Exactly.
This right here is another example of exactly what you just said, Jamie. This flag that I'm holding is another one of those examples. If you have any idea what this flag is, then you'll understand this is a perfect example of what Jamie was just even talking about. There's some that find this extremely and entirely offensive because for one reason or another. But it's not. There's a lot of history that comes in with this flag. And there was a major positivity that involved this flag. And some think, oh, well, you're one of those people when they see it, just like they do with the Confederate flag. I find it atrocious that because they're uneducated, they just villainize it.
Yeah, it's funny how they villainize a.
Seems like Idaho may need to go to the post office.
Or his mailbox, it should be there.
He may not be at home. He's a trucker.
Yeah.
So Tread asked the question out there, directed at you there, Scotsman.
Yeah, you can show crossbows, you can show bows.
Yeah, you can
No,
show crossbows. You can.
You
They're
can
just
show various different articles of weapons that are firearms, but you can pretty much show anything else until they change that too.
now with YouTube's wording. Would a black powder pistol be considered a firearm?
Well, being them, yes, they would. Anything that looks like one, they would go, "Ooh, firearm." You got to remember who's watching this right now. The little
Even though the ATF does
well,
it
you
says that
probably
it's
got
not a firearm.
what you probably got watching right now is probably a little 18-year-old pimply face, geeky glasses, the whole 9 yards, sitting there, has no idea what he's looking for other than something black with a trigger. That is more than likely what's watching right now. Oh yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, crossbow pistols, I think will fall into that category too. It depends upon the verdict of the person that's auditing. If they see something black, like Scotsman said, something black that's got a trigger in it, oh my god, it's a gun! Oh, and they'll fucking flip out and ban the channel or whatever the fuck they think they do.
Yeah.
And loads of bacon, abso-freaking-lutely. Logic and facts do not drive implementation of YouTube sensibilities. Now, YouTube sensibilities kind of sounds like an oxymoron to me, but in that context, it makes perfect sense.
Exactly, Kingpin.
Yeah, again, if you haven't read the description for the chat, please do. Very very well, Scotsman. Very well.
Thank you. Thank you. I had to take a minute to figure it right. I wanted to make sure if YouTube was actually to read it, and if you're watching, by the way, go read that. You pimply faced little whatever the hell you are, commie, California piece of shit. Go read that.
Yeah, earlier Kingpin said he was not a supporter of the Confederate States of America because he was pulling for the other side. Dude, you weren't alive then, but I understand where you're coming from. But I'm from Georgia, and we still smell the powder burning, and we probably always will, and that's just the way it is.
Well, that plus you were alive then, so I mean, it's probably personal to you. You were what, mid 40s or something then, or
22.
Oh, you're still a young pup.
Yeah, I was still young back then. No, Stonewall Jackson's one of my heroes. So if you don't know anything about Stonewall Jackson, I would encourage you to do a little reading.
yeah, and the big push that they were doing, taking down statues and all of that was very ISIS-esque. Going across the land and eliminating history. Why do they do that? Oh, well, because the history offends me? No. It's so that later on they can rewrite the history to get the generations afterwards to think that it happened a completely different way. Even as a kid in school, I was told that the Pilgrims saved the Indians from starvation and cold. And I'm like, you guys are fucking idiots. There's no way. I mean, the Indians are the ones that taught them how to freaking farm and how to live on the off the land. There's the no, I'm not buying your bullshit. Yeah, and that's what they're doing when they go out and they villainize the flags and they take down the statues and they eliminate the history, is because later on they're going to try and rewrite the history and contour it to their agendas.
Absolutely. Trent, I believe it certainly seems that way. And Michael Sines, I understand where you're coming from, brother. And Kingpin, we are on the same team now because it's not going to be the North against the South the next time. It's going to be the liberals and against the conservatives. And it's going to be
the freedom-loving patriots against the tyrannical government's what it's going to be.
Amen.
Thank you. There's Warsaw. Yeah, they're getting out of control. Idaho, I don't believe you'll be able to miss it, brother.
Yeah, Idaho, you're not going to be able to miss it, man. It's 22 of awesomeness.
Of twisted steel and sex appeal.
It was funny when I went to the post office. They're like, "What is this?" I'm like, "You don't need to know." I hate that. Every time I go mail something and it has some weight to it, what's in there? None of your business.
And just say guano.
No, it's a bowl full of nunya. Nunya business.
Fruitcake. It's very, very dense.
It is. And see,
Well,
my
the
wife.
way I bake, it's a possibility. It could weigh 22 pounds. I mean, I make mac and cheese. It weighs about 10 and a half pounds. I call it my 6-pound mac.
You guys,
It's probably close to 10 pounds.
but if you ate the whole thing, you would actually gain closer to 30 pounds. How does that work?
Water retention. All water retention.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, y'all are blowing up all these countries that have had civil wars, and it's just freaking me out.
Yeah. Alan,
But remember that.
Say again.
then you want to run through the side chat again?
Oh, sure, absolutely. I mean, we've had a lot of people jump in since we got started here. How fresh the participants list is. Blue Healer 260, Edward Petty, Fuzz Fork, Idaho, Rogers USMC, Jerry's Wood Shop and Outdoors, very good. Kingpin still out there, SD Mountain Man, the Texas Outlaw himself, Michael Sines, Thor's Axe, Tread out there, Truth Freeze, Walter Davis, Warsaw Patriot. It's been blowing up over there. Truth Freeze History Matters. It really does. Yeah, I think it's the our Civil War wasn't. I was taught as a very, very young lad that our Civil War was fought over slavery. And that's it. That's the reason why we had the war, was because of slavery. Now, I could be wrong about that. That's what I was taught. I don't think it was fought over slavery.
It was not.
It was a portion. It was a part of everything that was involved, all the issues then. But that wasn't the sole factor for the war. Yeah, they continue in the schools to teach what propaganda lies and stuff is all about. Yeah, truth freeze, Fred versus states' rights. It's what it boils down to.
Go ahead, Jamie.
At the time the war broke out, the South was being taxed on exports. Our number one export was cotton. Our number one money producing commodity was cotton. And Britain was buying up, and Europe was buying up cotton, and the South was making big money. And it was getting to the point where the money that the South was making from this was challenging the federal government's power. And they started taxing our exports exponentially to the point of somewhere between 70 and 80%. And that's when the South started seceding from the Union so we could keep our money to ourselves. And yes, slavery was an issue, but not the only. It was a minor issue when the war started. What turned it into a major issue was the Emancipation Proclamation. Because Abraham Lincoln did not care if this country was a slave country or a non-slave country. What he cared about was the unification, the continued unification of the country, or at least that's what he said.
Yeah,
Daniel, you've met Fuzz. I don't know if I agree with this statement.
Well, Michael Sines, that's about the common denominator of everything in it, isn't it? If you've got a question about any issue, anytime, anywhere, all through history, anywhere in the world, follow the money trail and you'll get to the right answer.
Okay, Fuzzy's statement there is true because he doesn't have a mean bone in his body. It's that membrane that covers all the bones, cause the skin. That is 100% mean. And as far as pretty much just about all conflicts come down to one common denominator: money. And a little side note: money leads to power. And as long as you can have power over everybody, there you go. That's why you can't love God and money. You got to love one or the other, because you're going to love one and hate the other. So it comes down to pick a side.
There you go. And I made that decision a long time ago. Tread, South Carolina was the first state to secede from the Union. And that's where the first shots were fired.
the question that is coming up now is Kentucky going to be the first shots fired? There's just so much going on out there, and it's bleeding over into other states massively.
It's you got New York, you got California, you got all the New Jersey, and some of these other states that have all these stupid, crazy laws, and everyone's always said, "Well, that'll never happen here." Look what's happening. Slowly pouring in one after the other.
They've put California-style gun legislation up for vote in the Georgia General Assembly. Thorzak said it well. Bloomberg, case in point about power and money. And Michael's right. You get the money, the power will come. What's up, Mr. Phil M. Rivers? And he gone that quick.
Yeah, Bloomberg really kind of torques my melon. He wants to preach about how he started Mothers Demand Action and all these other things, and that once he got out of originally politics, that he was just going to continue that. And so why not just continue that and run for the presidency? Probably because you don't seem to understand the Constitution, Mr. Bloomberg. I would get a hold of your highest advisors and fire every single one of them and hire all new ones that seem to understand the Constitution before you run for the frickin' presidency.
What's up, Phil?
Sorry about that. I had a little technical difficulty. Hit the wrong button.
You're good. How you doing, brother?
Good. How about everybody else on the panel here and everybody out in the side chat? Been a long time. Just getting back into it. Just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. So, hope everyone's doing well.
Merry Christmas to you, Phil. Wonderful to see you, good sir. It's been a minute.
Merry Christmas, Phil.
Yes, it has. It's been a little bit. So I figured with the news with Mr. Holster, I would unmute myself and come out and try and get him more support. So I just hope everything's going well for him right now.
Yeah, he's continuing the fight, man. Definitely continuing the fight, and he's very appreciative of everyone that's been helping out and donating. That's for sure.
Kingpin, you were talking about Maryland. Once upon a time, Maryland was about to have a vote in their legislature to secede from the Union and join the Confederate States of America. But Mr. Lincoln declared martial law, had all of their representatives arrested to prevent the vote, because at the point in time they seceded from the Union, Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States of America, would have been completely surrounded with Confederate territory.
It looks like Daniel is about to become a chat napper.
Yeah, I've got to take stuff that's for my spinal column, and it kind of knocks me out. So before I end up being the chat napper, I'm going to sign off and tell you, Scotsman, thanks for having me on. Alan, see ya. Jesse, Bill, great seeing you again. Jesse,
good seeing you.
Keep up the work. Jesse, keep up the work. And everybody in the chat room, I'll see you later.
Congratulations on your straw blowgun kill, sir.
Oh, thank you. That straw blowgun kill was a really hard feat.
Yeah, I
I'll
look
see you
forward to
later.
coming down and seeing the 9-point rack on the wall with the straw hanging across.
Yeah, I'll have to do something about that. Okay. I'll see you when you come down. If not, you have some back straps.
All right, brother.
All right. Good night.
Well, you get some back straps, man. How the hell do you rank? Jeez. Not only you got all the subscribers, but you get backstrap too. Damn.
That's some damn tasty stuff.
Yes,
Right
Fort Hall. I have seen that movie. I'm gonna go look it up and watch it again. That is a good movie.
And remember, they're not subscribers; they're friends. These are our friends.
Right.
And a whole bunch of you guys out there are also family, and you know who you are. So, including this
Yeah, that's
damn camera goes.
that's the sole reason why I'm still on YouTube is because I've got a lot of family out here now.
Oh.
And that is what it is. You know, I'm kind of been debating on continuing to even make videos, or if what I'm actually going to do with my channel. It's very much up in the air at the moment. The way they're all going, yeah, we've seen numerous things come down the food chain over the years, but it's got a lot of head steam now, and stuff's happening really fast. You can't even show a firearm during a live chat. That's just absurd. I'm not doing anything violent with it. What do you think? I'm going to shoot my dog or something on freaking live stream? It's very compelling to just go ahead and make the videos and put them somewhere else, and just take my creativity stuff and put it somewhere else. Am I going to stick around YouTube? I got family out here, and that's that.
Yeah, I understand, man. It's tough sometimes for sure. They're not gonna stop me making videos and posting videos. I'm gonna post as long as I can post on here. You know, it's like I've said before. This is a form of press, and no matter what they say, what their structure is, even though this is for press, and they cannot hinder the freedom of the press. And my right to do what I want, show what I want, talk about what I want, because that is hindering us. This is or not, it's a form of press.
I've never looked at it like that, but you're absolutely correct.
Yes, it's an expression of freedom of speech.
Yep.
And they're violating our rights when they do that.
Exactly. Hence why I went with that nice little description today. And again, I hope the little YouTube eater, ant watching this has read that description and maybe learned something. And worst case scenario, if you haven't, I hope I pissed you off.
Just because I haven't pissed off enough people today, I'm going to do this.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
unfortunately,
we always like to say YouTube can eat a bowl of dicks.
but we can still show blades. I don't know what we're allowed to do with them, but we can handle blades on live streams. Yay! Thank you, YouTube. I appreciate that.
At least for now.
Fuzz. Warsaw got a question for you, man, but I don't see it anymore.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I think this is what he's talking about here. Yes, we all support the Firearms Policy Coalition, the GOA, and definitely we all need to be supporting them and helping them out. And there's many others out there. You got a lot of local organizations as well. So make sure you get in any of your clubs that you can get into as well. You know, those are always good to be a part of too. You know, doesn't have to be exactly, you know, the GOA or the Firearms Policy Coalition. There's a whole bunch of other stuff out there that also support those too.
And even on the local levels, look around to see what you've got locally, because that's gonna affect you as well. Stuff that's on the county level, stuff that's on the state level, even. Yeah, we need to stay on top of everything going on with the federal level. But your state is the federal government's allowing the states to do so much that's completely against the Constitution. So if you can get a hold of somebody that's local in your state and maybe even in your county, support them too.
All politics is low.
One of the biggest things on top of that is contact your state representatives. You know, those are the ones that are out there trying to make these decisions and put forth these bills and so on as that. I'd be contacting them, beating their door down. Let them know what your thoughts are, what you stand for. Go ahead, Jamie.
All politics is local. That's where it starts. It's at the grassroots level. Does your vote count? Yes, it counts, because, you know, whether you're voting for your mayor or your town council member, that's the first step, and it goes up from there. Dog catcher, whatever. Every vote counts.
It always pisses me off when people say that. And then when something happens, they turn around and go, well, you know, how did this happen? Well, it happened because you didn't get your ass out of your seat and go vote.
If you don't vote, don't be griping about the way things turned out, because you don't have a right to.
That's the way I look at it. If you don't vote, you don't have a right to bitch about it.
You have a patriotic, not
Duty.
duty, I guess duty, mandate, really. Go vote. You know, a lot of the elections that go on in every level of politics, and I don't do politics. I'm past all that. I go vote. I stay as informed as I can. I make a good decision. I go vote. That's as far as my political aspirations want to go. But everything these days is not so much about, there's more liberals than there are conservatives, all that. What matters is the people who believe a certain way, if they're able to get their supporters to get out to the polls. That's what it boils down to. It's not about there's more of them than there are of us. No, they were able to mobilize their vote better than we were. So that's why we're saying it's your patriotic duty to get out there and vote your principles.
Exactly. Exactly that, man. Because I'm fighting to get my right to vote, and you got these little fuckers out there that don't do it, and then they gripe and complain.
I think you ought to have to pass a test to be able to vote. And I think you ought to have to pass a test to be able to have babies. Some people don't need to be reproducing, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know about that, but I definitely think they need to show ID before you vote. Because why do you think there's so much corruption?
Oh yeah. Dead people vote every day.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure if anybody heard, but there was a Democratic bill that was being set forth originally to remove all gates from cemeteries because it was preventing their future voters from voting. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. Need to be able to ID to vote. And one thing that gets me is now states are passing laws where illegal aliens, not aliens that are in the country legally, illegal aliens are able to get driver's licenses. Why? It's not even a right. It's a freaking privilege. You don't have a right to be in the country in the first place. Why the fuck do you get the privilege to drive in it? That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
That one always pissed me off, especially with like Obama, handing them out like candy. It took me nice after I got here to get through all the paperwork, get a social security card so I could get the driver's license. I could do this, I could do that. And then you get Obama handing out licenses like candy.
Now, okay, I see it if the purpose in getting illegal aliens, oh, come on in, we'll give you a driver's license. We're going to put you all on this list. Oh, yeah, tell us where you live and put you on a list. And eventually they're going to go collect everybody and kick them the fuck out because you're here illegally. Okay. I'm for it. There's your registry right there, dumbasses. Go ahead. Go sign up for a driver's license, you illegal bastard, because now they know who you are and where you live. It's creating a registry, and why the feds don't utilize this is beyond me. In order to when I moved states, in order to get my driver's license in my state, I had to show my birth certificate. I had to show that I am who I am and I was born where I was born. And what is the possibility of somebody that's in the country illegally having any kind of documentation of this? What are they carrying? Their birth certificates from Guatemala or wherever they're from with them as they backpack across the freaking deserts to get in? I don't think so. But yet they'll just willy-nilly give them a privilege of being in the country. It's a privilege to drive.
Oh, it's funny, man, is half these DMVs or BMVs, depending where you're at in the country, don't even know what you actually need to give you the driver's license. I've been in a few different ones as I've gone through the country, and I've had some people say I have to have this. I've had some people say I have to have this, state by state, but I already know what I need before I walk in the door. I double check everything because it's more of a pain in the ass for me. So I make sure I know what I need. And then you stand there, you have to argue with these people because they think you have to have this, 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 and this, when really I only need this or this. You know, it's ridiculous.
Thor's axe. Yeah, this is a republic, not a democracy. And a senator said this in this impeachment process. He said straight up, you keep saying save our democracy, but keep in mind, this is not a democracy. This is a republic.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. A lot of these politicians need to actually understand what the Constitution is and understand what the Pledge of Allegiance is, and what they're going to do and actually do it instead of just money in their
instead they'll
pocket.
just take oaths. They'll take oaths to say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to abide completely and entirely by this." You know, even with a hand on a Bible, they will say this, and they don't even know what it says. They've got no idea what the document actually says.
Okay, we can start now. The CB's here.
Oh, I thought we were starting because Red October showed up.
Oh, that too. Hey, Red.
So, Phil, you picked anything new up lately? Obviously, you can't show it, but have you picked anything up new?
No, not yet. I'm waiting until probably January, February. I'm hoping to get some gift cards for Christmas and birthday. I'm cheap that way.
Well, didn't that kind of work out to your benefit last year?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That, and I found some gift cards from the year before, so I was able to pick up a couple guns last year.
Nice. It's a good way to do it, man.
So I'm hoping. What's that?
That's a good way to do it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't get bitched at so much.
Thor's axe preaching.
Gift ideas. Anybody out there that is not a firearms person, you've got a firearms person in your family. I mean, yeah, you can get somebody gift cards to your local sports warehouse or whatever. Ammunition is always well accepted. You could just go buy boxes of ammo and wrap it up. They'll thank you. They'll dig it.
Go to your local range, some brass, pick it up, put it in the bag, box it up. It's cheap and effective.
Tread, can you post up that one from Tread there, Scotsman? I know this is directed at me, but allow me to go ahead and run this around the room. Jamie, what do you think of this?
A democracy is a mob rule society. The republic is put in place to keep civil heads civil. I mean, if it was a pure democracy, you've got mob rule. Where we've got the republic is the foundation of keeping stuff the way it's supposed to be. Phil, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's the republic was put in place so that the big cities wouldn't rule the whole country because they're more, well, nowadays they're more liberal, but whatever the big cities wanted to do, they could actually rule the whole country. You know, even back in the colonial days when it was just Philadelphia, New York, Washington, Boston, you know, those four cities could control the whole colonies. if you let it go as a democracy and everybody gets one vote because they have the numbers. So it's kind of it's a way to even out the distribution of votes.
Yeah, constitutional republic is right. We are absolutely a constitutional republic. What seems to be happening and has been for quite a while is we've had the two-party system, and that two-party system leans more towards democracy than it does a republic. And the people on the other side of the hall want to go ahead and want to try to convert our constitutional republic into a democracy. And so they continue to call it a democracy. They continue to call it a democracy. They continue to call semi-automatic weapons assault weapons. Made up term. But you get told the lie enough, and eventually people believe it. Is the actual wording of if a republic is a democracy? No, it's not. You could say just as much a republic is compared to any other form of government that way. But true republic, constitutional republic, as we are, we're nowhere near the form of a democracy. The way that things have played out through history and the way that we've ended up current to today is that we've got a lot of people on one side of the fence that want to make it a democracy. But the people keep holding strong. And we're going to keep holding strong. If they want to convert it to a democracy, there's going to be a lot of us that aren't going to agree with that.
Here's the thing, though, too, is you got these Democrats don't really even understand the whole term of being a Democrat or democracy itself. They're sore losers. Every time something happens, they don't get their way, they cry about it. And then they try to find some other way to fight around it, to get around it. There's no actual democracy. These people don't understand what it is.
Garage guy, the answer to that question is yes.
No, it makes an assault stick. It is an assault stick. And you probably need to hit them more than one time just to make sure.
Yeah, the Electoral College destroyed democracy, as Warthog says, and that's a very valid statement. I mean, yeah, I hadn't even thought about putting it that way, but that's right. That's 100% correct.
Yeah, I like what Kingpin said, though, the Republic, not everyone gets a vote. There's age limits and citizenship and whatnot. And I can definitely agree with that, too. Because there should be age limits, obviously. You can't have 12 and 13-year-olds voting. And citizenship, and that's the one thing that's a real problem, I think, is especially in California and in New York, you have illegal aliens voting that didn't go through the whole course of being a citizen and getting the right to vote, and they're voting anyway.
Yep. And of course, the favorite is dead people voting. You know.
Yeah, there is that too. Look at Chicago.
A lot of those people that didn't vote in the past are now voting, even though they can't sign their own name to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walter Davis has a question that might be more in line to what I'm used to dealing with. I think that's a copper wash on those, or maybe a plating on the steel cases of the
Yeah,
surplus ammo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a plating
And
one.
I'm pretty sure that stuff's pretty rough on your chambers.
Now, Red October, don't be a zombophobe. Don't be a zombophobe. I mean, zombies are people too. They just, eat different things than we do. So, not allowing zombies to vote, just, I mean,
That's
that's
racist.
really, don't be a zombophobe, man.
Zombies already vote. It happens every day. Mindless souls walking in and hitting this one.
Yeah. Straight party line. There's something they got to be removed from the ballot. Straight party line. That's just my thought, though. I think you ought to have to go down through each one and say yes or no to the person you're voting for.
Merry Christmas, Mike Joseph. Walter's talking about 7mm Mauser, I'm assuming. 1953 for like the South American Mausers.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, look at the garage guy's statement about the Virginia governor turning felons into non-felons, and that's one thing that I think is big on the Democratic Party, is to turn felons into non-felons so they can vote. That way they get their votes. So that's just my thought anyway.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. And it's pretty sad when you have to dive into that kind of categories in order to try and gain votes from people. But yet then again, we've got people like Bernie Sanders promising you everything in the freaking world. Oh, I'm going to give you college education and I'm going to give Medicare to everybody. And so people are cheering him, going, yay, yeah, we want free shit. We want free shit. But it can't happen. It can't happen. I mean, Finland. Look at Finland. Look what happened to them when they gave everybody in the country medical care. Their government is falling to pieces.
Look, man, Finland makes some fine firearms. I can't help what they did with their health care and all that kind of stuff. And, if conditions weren't as such, I could show you a couple, but
Yeah, they did make some fine firearms, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that rule yet. So if I ever do a live stream, we'll see. Anyway, gentlemen, I'm gonna.
We wouldn't want to forget our lovely YouTube watcher. I don't want you to think we forgot about you. We still know you're there, and we're still telling you to go.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I'm gonna get out of here because at 4:30 alarm's gonna ring awfully early. And,
All right.
One more day to work before Christmas break. Good to be
good
here.
to see
Thanks
you,
for
buddy.
having me. Thanks for the link.
Yeah, great to see you, Phil. Thank you very much for popping in, man.
Yeah,
Merry
everybody,
Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year if I don't see you before then.
been missing
hope I
you,
will.
buddy. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Yeah,
Christmas. Y'all
buddy.
have a good one.
There's trouble. It's like, I want to be in the.
There's the reason why Grandpa can't sleep in peace.
Are we doing full sentences today?
I don't know. I just hope she don't start mashing buttons. She'll cut me off. Tell everybody, hey, Ribby. Tell them, hey.
Hey.
Are you going to talk in full sentences today?
No, we can say that.
You had no problem getting the no out there.
I know, but guys, that's what we that's why what happens with all of our rights.
Hey, bearded CB, you might want to put your glasses on. She was a lot cuter than Chico.
Yeah, she was. She is. All right. Do I hear your Mimi calling you? I think I do. Turn the light on. Baby, there's enough lights on in here to light up a landing strip.
She turned the light off.
She turned the light off. That means she's going to bed. So go on, get in the bed. Take off.
DB, you're right, man. It's probably about the same height. she might actually have an inch or two on Chico.
Y'all are so mean.
Hopefully she doesn't say the same thing when she shoots the 357 though.
No, she ain't got that far yet, but I'm thinking in the next year or two we'll be range buddies. And I'm thinking by the time she's 10, she'll be in a tree stand with me. Stop, Rigby.
I want to once.
Yeah, you got there, man.
Yeah, you got to teach them young, and you know what goes on. What goes on now is going to affect her life a lot more. It's going to affect ours.
Exactly.
Well, that's why I do what I do. All right, we got hands everywhere here. Merry Christmas, Ghost.
Jamie, what dash is your 586?
Hi.
My 586 does not have a dash.
Best kind. The best kind.
I thought so. I've been incredibly fortunate. I did see a new video from Gun Blue 490 today where he takes a brand new Smith & Wesson model 19-9, and you got to remember that he is a old time factory trained Smith & Wesson armorer. He takes it apart and digests everything for you. Shows you what's new, what's different, why it's new, why it's some things are better, some things are worse. But he has very high opinions of that kind of stuff. So I trust his opinion greatly, and I'm not afraid to go get a brand new Model 19 at this point in time after I've seen him take it apart and show you the differences. So Thorzak 686 is a -2, which is still, those are nice too. One thing I think we need to adjust our thinking on a little bit is thinking that the dash and the number afterwards are successfully better, worse, whatever. These are different renditions. These are different upgrades and stuff like that. And Smith and Wesson is trying each number up. They're trying to make a better firearm. So sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with the dashes.
You
A
mean
lot of the time,
they're not trying to improve upon perfection like another company?
no. See, a lot of times too, it was cost cutting measures.
Particularly with the Model 10s. From the Dash 6 to the Dash 8s, you lost the pinned barrel. You also lost the recessed chambers there. So yeah, absolutely. Not that I would argue with the Scotsman about Smith and Wesson. He's much more the historian on that than I am.
Single Shot's asking what that channel was again there, Jamie.
It's called Gun Blue 490. You want me to see if I can get a link to him? He
Sure.
is he's very knowledgeable, good guy. He's from up north. But let me get over here and see if I can find anything.
Well, if you don't have it, Jamie, I got you covered here. I'll go ahead and throw this out in the side chat for Gun Blue 490.
Did you find it?
Yeah, you're good, man. I'm doing it on my laptop, and I can't put it in the. Yeah.
I'll feed the mice a little more cheese, and my Google Foo is strong. Oh,
I should have been doing that on my phone instead.
That's all right. I'll grab
But
it.
anyway,
I'll see if I can find it.
oh, I got it. It's out in the side chat.
Oh, you got it already. Okay, cool.
that Bullet Junkie, you can fix some triggers, man. If you know what you're doing.
Oh boy! Now the
Blue
pot.
Healer has a question there for you, Scotsman.
Blue Healer, you don't get yourself kicked out of here.
He's kind of new. Be gentle. Although he has been around long enough to know better than that.
He has. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that
Single shot Model
it?
57.
Yipper. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, brother?
Man, no rest for the wicked, I guess.
The phrase is "no rest for the weary," but yeah,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I missed that one up. My bad.
I know what you mean, man. I don't consider it wicked.
I'm a big believer in Jesus, that's for sure.
Yeah, me too. I never considered you wicked in any way. So there you go.
Well, I'm always fighting off the wicked out here. People spray paint my bungalows.
Somebody said you had a graffiti artist that was back in town.
Yeah, you know, like that the movie Superbad. Person has a fetish with drawing male counterparts, I guess. I don't know who wants to come out in the middle of the desert, middle of nowhere, just to go artistically spray something like that on the bungalows. I don't know. Someone's got a big problem. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, Thorzak, you got a good point there, brother. He does think Gunblue does think that his opinion is the only one that matters, but he has a lot more credentials than I do. So, been doing it a long time. So, Eagle, I got my gun completely put together.
Nice. Yeah, I saw the upper last. I think it was 2 Georgian shooting connection chats ago.
Well, things have changed since then, brother.
Yeah, they're giving you crap about the aluminum scope base, which I didn't see a problem with that.
Yeah, well, we can't show that kind of stuff anymore on.
That starts January, and I don't know. I mean, do they have an algorithm to pick up? They might. I guess they got
No,
some
there's
kind of algorithm
someone
to pick up
watching
the
right now.
firearm.
They actually have people watching.
Son of a gun.
Yep.
What are you gonna do? Give you a strike for showing a BB gun or a gun?
No, what they're going to do starting off is they're going to start taking the videos down, the live streams down. And if you continue to do it, then they'll probably strike you, and then obviously go from there. They start by just removing the stream if you violate the policy.
Gotcha.
And more than likely disable your ability to stream.
Just more BS to hurdle over. That's why you got our videos automatically uploaded to BitChute and all that. So we're everywhere.
Yep. They'll never win. We're not going anywhere.
Nope. Oh man.
Yeah, when they're going to go after regular videos again, I mean, we started seeing a bit of kickback just on regular videos on showing how to do this or how to do that, or you're not allowed to show reloading on video. You're not allowed to show manufacturing, this, that, and the other thing. When they're going to expand that is just a matter of time, in my opinion.
It's a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here and there, and eventually it's all gone. So just the way it's going to be, and they'll learn their lesson. They'll get rid of us if they do, and they're going to be hurting a lot. Because basically YouTube has just been operating in a negative for such a long time. All they want to really do is monetize and basically run ads to gain revenue. Well, they can't run ads because all these ad companies are big leftists. That's what it really boils down to. I do have a friend that does work for Google, and surprisingly enough, there's actually a lot of folks that are part of Google aren't really against guns. It's just their big curriculum is making money. The money thing comes from advertisement. Advertisement controlled by the left. So,
Yeah.
But on that same front, I've seen ads for NRA. I've seen ads for different holster companies. So it's kind of counterproductive. If you want more business, you want more advertisers, why would you shut an entire industry away? Why would you push so many different variables of firearms away when these companies are making money? They want to advertise. A great platform to do that's going to be YouTube. Oh, you don't want us to advertise on because you have some type of political agenda? It doesn't add up. If they're in the business to make money, then of course they're going to take the advertising dollars.
the flip side to that too is if they're in the business of doing that, which we all know they are, why are they making these policies so complex and hiding stuff in the policies that unless you really sit there or go get a lawyer to read it, you're not going to understand it.
You know what really cracked me up? I was, my kids watch a lot of stuff online as well. I usually, I don't know, damn near 99% of it, I basically watch what they're doing. And my wife does the other 1%. Anyways, they're watching I guess it was a kids channel, basically reviewing a TV or toys, or basically, playing with toys all day. And advertisements of Ashley Madison and stuff like that came on board. And I'm like, what is this COPA law supposed to do? And it's supposed to take effect in protecting our kids, but then they're showing advertisement of Ashley Madison and other crap on there that's inappropriate for, to me, young adults. So I don't understand that crap.
And again, it's all about what makes them money, man.
Yeah, so this just boils down to, obviously the leftist has a crap ton of money of their influence, a lot more than what NRA is and all that.
Yep.
NRA, gun owners of America, GOA. It doesn't matter. Just donate to one of them. If you're not an NRA supporter or GOA, we got to fight this damn fight. It's sad because as a Second Amendment supporter, it's harder for us because we have to prove to people why firearms in the Second Amendment is needed for our Constitution. And why, the left has basically got to just say, no, it's not, and it's bull crap.
Yep. It's all explaining why the second defends the rest.
The Second Amendment was and still is the most scrutinized of the amendments. The only time that it will become not the most scrutinized is if eventually they abolish it, and then the next one just falls right into line, and then they'll go after the next one and go after the next one. It's not about Second Amendment. It's about control.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. All right, we're almost at that time, but before we start going through the room, guys, again, that link for Mr. Holster GoFundMe is going across the bottom there. If you have not already donated and you want in on a chance to win a Vapor, brand new Vapor with an awesome banana mag, I got a banana clip in from Mr. Holster for it too. So I got that seal on there. It's approved, 100%. Make sure you go donate. Send me a copy of the receipt or a screenshot of the receipt to the email. And cutting it off tomorrow at noon. So you have all of tonight until noon tomorrow to get your entries in. And then after that, I got to sit down and put a spreadsheet together and have some awesome giveaway next Sunday.
I'd like to take a vote before we leave for this evening. And my question for the vote is, do we want the Scotsman to give the yell this evening? Jamie, how would you vote on that?
I say absolutely.
Eagle Eye?
Absolutely.
And I agree with the rest of the gentlemen. So I don't think you even get to vote on this, Scott. It doesn't really matter if you do or not. So
except for it's his live stream and he has veto power.
Nevertheless, yeah, there's so much that everybody's done for Mr. Holster and Mrs. Holster, and I appreciate everybody that has, and continuing on forward. it's absolutely heartwarming to know that there's actually still people out there, and not just. It's just really nice to know that, when you've lost faith in the majority of humanity, to see stuff like this come together is phenomenal.
Yep, absolutely. It always blows me away, and especially at this time of year too. You guys have keep on donating, keeping helping out, and it's a hard time of the year to do stuff like that. So trust me, it's much appreciated for sure.
I'd also like to point out that not once have you seen in our live stream or heard in this live stream, happy holidays. No, it's Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. All right. With that being said, we'll start going through the room. We'll start with Jamie.
Guys, thank y'all for having me, putting up with me, and I really appreciate all the Civil War jokes, Alan. So that's cool. I've got a lot of video ideas, and I think I'm going to have quite a few coming out. I'm off for a couple of weeks. One thing, this is going to the tree stand with me, Scotsman.
Nice.
So trying to get a kill shot on video for you guys, but remember, we do have the Reloaders Network. Kenny's got Eagle Eye has a new website. Y'all check him out, desertprecisiongunworks.com. There's a forum feature there that's really nice. Y'all get over there when you can. We also have the Reloaders Network. We have Headspace. We have Slack to be in touch. We also have various other things like BitChute and Gunstreamer to put our videos on. So we may all have to move, but we're all going to be somewhere still doing what we're doing. So I want to say what Thorzak's just said. Basically, he stole my thunder. Remember, God's still in control. Christmas is the birth of his son when God took on flesh. Merry Christmas, and may the true meaning and the peace of Christmas overwhelm you and your family. And thank you for having me.
Absolutely, brother. Always good to have you. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Eagle Eye. Kenny.
Bueller. Well, he's probably silent because how in the world are you supposed to follow that from Jamie? Powerful stuff, brother. I mean, I don't even want to follow that. How are you supposed to follow that?
I'll tell you how we follow that. Woo!
And we lost.
Go ahead.
Very well. Yeah. I don't know. I'm debatable upon what's happening with me and mine at this point. I'm kind of lost a lot of head steam with it, and just trying to figure out, if I'm gonna continue making produced content or not. But yeah, Tread's got the link out there for the GoFundMe for Mr. Holster. Yeah, it's a hard time of year, but it's even harder on them right now. And do what you can. And that's pretty much all I got to keep the magazines loaded and one in the chamber.
Awesome. Kenny? We'll try again.
Yep. Sorry about that. I'm on the road. As always, Scotsman and everybody here in the panel does a phenomenal job supporting the community, getting help to the brothers in need. So I'd like to say thanks to Scotsman. Thanks, Jamie, for everything you guys do, getting these folks going. Alan, always help. So I just want to say thanks for that. I guess for me, I'm just trying to show support. What I can, at least educate folks about firearms, things you could do, budget-minded, typical firearms that we have. So with that said, I do have my 7mm short action ultra mag that I've taken out. I will be premiering on West Desert. YouTube is suppressing our gun channels, so they're not really recommending videos and getting our videos out there. So as another way to do that is to influence other channels or folks that have more subscribers to let other folks jump on board and get the videos heard to our audience. So that's kind of what I'm doing. As Jamie said, our videos are everywhere. We got the Reloaders Network. I got my website, ppgunworks.com. Or something I miss on the videos, I write down on articles. I lost you.
He's in cell hell.
Dang mobile phones. Well, short. Thanks a lot, guys. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next Sunday.
All right, awesome, brother. Appreciate you. All right, guys. With that being said, including the person watching this stream from YouTube, Merry fucking Christmas.